I know.
You want me to do that here high.
Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Oh,
He's not in here.
Yeah, you can use it to put your stuff on and we'll just take it right here. Go that way. Go that way. Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
yeah, there he is. I know he's. This June 4th, 2026 meeting of the Dublin City Council is hereby called to order. Please stand for our invocation, which will be delivered by Councilman Benny Jones, and remain standing after the invocation for the pledge to the flag. Councilman Jones.
Bow our heads. Holy Father, Lord, thank you for the day that you've given us, Lord. Thank you for protection and being our protection, our God, all day long. And we're on the day to come before us, Lord, for us gathering. It's now, Lord, to be upon this council, continue to give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, Lord, and make decisions that seem best for the community. Thank you for this community, Lord. Continue to get us together in love and unity. We knit us together in love, Lord. We just thank you now for all you continue to do. Another blessing, bless your son name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you all for being here this evening. We're going to start our meeting with some special presentations. Whenever we have employees that reach certain milestones, we like to recognize them and provide them with a service pin. Tonight we are recognizing and honoring City of Dublin employees who have worked with our community, our city, for 10 years, for 20 years, and even 40 years. So we'll start with our 10-year honorees. We'll begin with Lori Otten. Ms. Otten is a meter reader and has been employed with Dublin since 2016. I believe that she may not be here this evening. All right, we also have Steve Mullis, who began his employment with the city also in 2016 as a utility system maintenance operator at the wastewater treatment plant. I know that Mr. Mullis has just celebrated his 50th birthday and is also out this evening. Finally, we have Josh Powell. Josh started as our city attorney back in 2016 and later became our city manager. Josh has worked with us for 10 years and is receiving his 10-year service pin this evening. Congratulations to all employees who have worked for the city for 10 years. Josh normally reads these out, but he said that it would be too embarrassing for him to talk about himself, so I'm doing it this evening. All right, so 20 years. We have two employees who started in 2006 and are now celebrating 20 years with the City of Dublin. First is Benjamin Cooper with our sanitation department. He is our sanitation superintendent. Mr. Cooper, thank you for your 20 years of service to the City of Dublin. All right. And we also have Adam Hobbs, a lieutenant in our fire department. Mr. Hobbs, come on down. Thank you for 20 years of service to the City of Dublin with the fire department.
A little bit of police in there too, didn't you?
A little bit. Thank you. All right, and now for 40 years of service. This one doesn't come around too often, but tonight we are honoring an employee who has been with the City of Dublin for 40 years. She knows where all the bodies are buried. She knows all the secrets that have happened in this town over the decades, and that is Tanya Cranford. Tanya, are you here? There we go. Thank you. Tanya started on the back of a garbage truck and is now our sanitation administrative assistant. And she knows everything about the City of Dublin. Thank you again, Tanya, for 40 years. All right. I want to thank all employees for your service to the City of Dublin and to our community. At this time, we are going to have a special presentation from our Archway professional representative, Valerie Dixon. Valerie helps us with the University of connection between the City of Dublin and the University of Georgia. Valerie, it's always good to see you, and I know that you have a special presentation for us this evening.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. Thank you for having me tonight. I hate to have my back to you guys, but my name is Valerie Dixon. I'm the Archway professional for Dublin-Lawrence County. Just quickly, the Archway partnership is an agreement between the University of Georgia and Dublin-Lawrence County to provide resources, connections to all of the many opportunities available through UGA. Can I just tell you when we want to advance the slides? Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay, so we started about 2 years ago in Lawrence County. These were the initial priorities that the executive committee came up with, just some big buckets of opportunities and needs that the county felt like Lawrence County could benefit from. So workforce and economic development, housing, planning and infrastructure, and quality of life. I'm just going to go through some highlights. We've been working in those areas with student projects, with faculty doing some work in the community. I'm just going to highlight each of those areas. We started back about a year ago doing an economic impact study for the Heart of Georgia mega site. We've assisted the Chamber Community Foundation with the Flex and the Aim to Summit program. We did a Birth to 5 literacy campaign. That was a partnership with the school system, an advertising PR class at UGA. We just wrapped up a child care needs assessment working with the professor in early childhood to just really survey center directors, employees, parents to see what the needs were around child care in the community. We kicked off a workforce data summit a few weeks ago that many of you attended. That just shared labor market data and helped us just really think strategically about planning for workforce in the community. Two big things last spring we accomplished. We brought down pre-med students from UGA to tour the hospital, to tour the VA, just really beginning to plant seeds in those students' minds about practicing medicine in a rural area once they graduate. You'll know that UGA has just launched a medical school that will be starting in August. We were able to bring medical faculty, it's what you see up in the picture on the right, to tour the hospitals, to just really talk to doctors, hospital administrators about what the needs are here in rural Georgia. Our next issue work group that we've been working in is housing. We held a housing summit last August. Again, just presented a lot of data for the community. And then one thing we were asked to do was to map vacant parcels within the city and surrounding areas that may be available for development. That information is going to be presented coming up at a meeting June 25th, 3 o'clock at the Chamber of Commerce. Planning and infrastructure has been another area that we've worked in, particularly with the City of Dublin. We had engineering students that completed a capstone project. So these are senior engineering students in their last year of school, working on a real world project. So we identified some drainage issues at Stubbs Park that they mapped and then came up with improvement plans to just keep that particular area from flooding. Another team of students also did a big project down in Dudley to do improvements to their wastewater treatment facility. We're happy to see both of those plans come to fruition in the future. Downtown parking study that came out back in around the first of the year, just identifying parking areas downtown, making sure that the number of spots met the number of businesses for the area. And then just most recently, we had a group of students that constructed plans for a multimodal path that connects the farmers market down to the peanut building. And as you guys heard just now in pre-council, I think there's some grant money that hopefully is going to see that project all the way through. Those students did a fantastic job. When you guys have a chance to look through all of those files, I think you'll be real pleased with the work that they did with that pathway. And then quality of life is our last issue work group that just sort of encompasses a little bit of everything. We were proud to support this year's cohort of Leadership Dublin Lawrence. They just held their graduation at the beginning of May. I think 14 graduates or 14 participants went through that and graduated. It was very successful. We were able to help facilitate some of those sessions using some of our partners over at the J.W. Fanning Institute for Leadership. It just really leveled up that program. I think they have opened applications up, and I'm hearing that they are upwards of 40 applicants already for this next cohort. We'll be supporting that program again. So just really excited, beginning to cultivate those leaders before you need them is so important, and we're just happy to help support that program. We completed a community needs assessment for the CSB, something that they needed for some grant funding that they were seeking. We were able to help them with that. We had another sustainability student group that looked at developing an area over near the Riverview Golf Course for non-motorized boat access points. As you'll see in the pictures, just some renderings of what that could look like for kayak and canoe launches, just again to increase the quality of life in Dublin. And then the final project we wrapped up just this spring was some wayfinding signage for historic downtown, as well as some of the areas outside of the downtown area, just increasing visibility for people wanting to visit Dublin. It's such a great place to visit, but a lot of times on the interstate, people just drive right by and don't realize all that they're missing in the town of Dublin. So just some signage to increase traffic to come down to the downtown area. And then the DDA had asked us to do some design plans to help beautify an alleyway downtown. So we were able to help produce that. Another part of our program is called Look Ahead Georgia. It's a student internship program. We're happy to welcome 9 interns this summer to Dublin. We had 4 last summer, so we've doubled our numbers. We have one of our interns that's actually interning for the city of Dublin here tonight, Rebecca Brantley. She's interning with city engineering. She started last week, so she is from Lawrence County and went to West Lawrence. She is a mechanical engineering major, and so she's home for the summer, interning with City of Dublin. Bill, your son, is at Oconee EMC. We're happy to have him. But this is a program designed to help students understand that the careers and opportunities available for them in their hometown are limitless. So we provide them an 8-week internship. It's a paid internship funded fully through a Department of Labor grant. These kids are from Lawrence County and the surrounding areas, back home for the summer, working in, you can see the different fields that they're working in, but just to really help that rural Georgia workforce pipeline. We hear all the time, we love when our kids go off to school, but they don't come home. So this program was started a few years ago to really address that concept. And just a little bit about coming up next. Like I said, we just finished our first full school year, so we operate on a semester system. Right now, we're kind of at a break because the interns are here, and that's our focus for the summer. But coming up this fall, we've got plans to put proposals in for engineering capstone projects, a few landscape projects, and sustainability projects again. We'll be working with Leadership Dublin Lawrence. We've got a grant opportunity to help with some child care initiatives. Of course, the workforce strategic planning efforts will keep going on. We are going to be working with Dudley on some community planning. And then most exciting this summer, we'll be welcoming the first inaugural class of UGA's medical school to Dublin this summer to tour the hospital, to tour town, just really, again, planting those seeds early of what it looks like to practice medicine in a rural area. So thank you for your participation in this partnership. Any questions from council or the public?
All right. Appreciate you coming and giving this presentation, and I know that you've done a lot of hard work over the last year and getting this program launched, and appreciate all the information that you and your program have been able to generate for our community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. At this time, we will go into our regular agenda items. Our first item is approval of the May 21st City Council meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
Motion for approval. Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Griggs, a second from Councilman Jones. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Second on the agenda is approval of bills over $15,000. Do you have those bills in your packet? Are there any questions for staff regarding the bills over $15,000? All right, if there are no questions, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Griggs, a second from Councilman Chain. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We'll now move to item number 3, which is approval of purchases over $15,000. I believe that we have several of those this evening. We've gone through them in pre-council, so we'll handle these all with one motion. But first, we'll have Mr. Powell go through the items. Thank you.
I'd like to say this is just because it's the end of the fiscal year and everybody's trying to spend their budgets, but that's not the case. We've had some unfortunate circumstances with some equipment. The first is a ditch witch trencher for Dublin Natural Gas. This is replacing one that we currently have. This will be paid for out of the gas fund, and we are recommending purchasing this through a regional cooperative purchasing contract for $76,459.36 from Earl Kinlaw and Associates Incorporated. The next item is engine parts and rebuild for a front-end sanitation truck for a commercial garbage collection. This is for the 2020 Peterbilt truck we have, and the recommendation is to purchase the parts from MHC Kenworth out of McDonough in the amount of $18,010.62, and then Prestige Diesel Maintenance and Repair out of Griffin will provide the services needed to get that installed, and that'll be $10,850. Again, this was not particularly budgeted, but we have currently have sufficient funds in those accounts to cover these services and the parts. The next purchase is for camera and cabling installation for our purchasing shop, water construction, and sanitation facilities. These are all located off of Madison Street, down just past our groundwater plant, and we're in need of some updated and new security cameras in that area for those facilities, and ask the council's approval to purchase spend up to $26,000 to have this work done. There's a number of vendors that'll be involved in this. One is a supplier for the electronic devices, the switches, access points, and the cameras themselves. And then there's a service for the cabling that's needed to be run to connect all of this to our internet, and then the cameras themselves. So we ask for that approval with this, and of course the costs are going to be allocated out to each of the departments that are affected by that as is appropriate. The next item is a water meter replacement. It's a 10-inch water meter, which is one of our larger water meters in our system from Delta Municipal Supply. The cost is $23,800. This meter is particular to YKK. It's one of the 2 meters that we have at their facility, and they are our largest water customer, so we need to get their meter replaced. The current one is not functioning. The next item is for motor replacement for a Freightliner. This is another motor replacement. This is for the water department this time. It's for the wastewater treatment plant. They use this Freightliner truck. It's a 2012 model to haul sludge from the wastewater plant out to the landfill. And the cost is for $38,910 from Prestige Diesel Maintenance and Repair. We recommend that approval. And then the last purchase is also for the water department, this time for our surface water plant. This is electrical services needed to replace electrical panel and connection to one of the main pumps that runs the plant. Right now we're working at about 33% reduced capacity down at the plant, which is critical. And Bridges Electric has submitted a quote for $31,738 for that, and we have plant maintenance funds available and also water funds available to cover this purchase. Those are the purchases for council's consideration. We ask for approval for all of them.
All right, so Mr. Powell has just gone through 6 purchases for approximately $230,000. Any questions for staff regarding these?
With the panel water plant, that repair, was there another quote on that or just a single quote?
Because of the timing, it's kind of an emergency situation. We've only got one quote. And Bridges Electric, I know, has done a lot of work down there at our plant and is familiar with it, so who Mr. Brazil recommends we use.
Good enough.
How long does it take to replace it?
Um,
It's critical.
I'm not sure about timeline. I know that they're going to get right on it. They may in fact already be working on it, waiting on y'all's approval. But I don't know how long it's going to take them to do this work exactly.
Mayor, I move for approval of all the
Second.
purchases.
All right, so we have a motion from Councilman Brown, a second from Councilman Jones to approve the purchases. Any discussion on the motion? If there is no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
I should point out, I would normally have that information for you on how long, but this just came in today. Literally, we just added it, so I'll get that for you and let you know, though.
All right, we'll now move to item number 4 on the agenda, which is approval of a $35,000 contribution from the city to the Archway Partnership. You've just heard Ms. Dixon's presentation regarding the work that the Archway Partnership does for Lawrence County and the city of Dublin. Again, it's $35,000. Do we have any questions for staff regarding this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Jones and I'm sorry, who was the second from? Councilman Colby? From Councilman Colby. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Congratulations, Ms. Dixon. Another year with the city. All right, we'll now move to item number 5, which is the first reading of a rezoning ordinance. Again, this is going to be the first reading. We will have a public hearing on this on June 18th at noon, but this is just to let everybody know what's coming down the pipe. Mr. Powell.
This is zoning map ordinance amendment number 2605, an amendment to the official zoning map of the city of Dublin, Georgia, as previously amended for the purpose of rezoning 3.5 acres more or less of property located at tax parcel D09F068, Dublin, Georgia, from B2 highway-oriented business zone to R4 multifamily residential zone. The proposed use is for a multifamily residential development. This property is located just off of Woodlawn Drive. There have been some new apartments that were recently constructed there, you may have seen. And this is a piece of property right next to that, going closer to Hillcrest along Woodlawn. And the development is the same as what developed the previously constructed apartments, and they intend to build more apartments on this parcel as well. This is just a first reading, though.
All right, so this is the first reading. Again, there'll be a public hearing on June 18th at noon at our next city council meeting. And that would be about 100 to 120 apartment units that would be added through this development. Item number 6 on the agenda is the second reading, public hearing, and debate, if needed, on our fiscal year 2027 budget. If you want to go ahead and do the second reading of the budget, and then we'll have the public hearing.
This is ordinance 2607, an ordinance by the mayor and council of the city of Dublin to provide for the adoption of the fiscal year 2027 operating budget for the city of Dublin, to update the position and classification schedule for employees of the city, set criteria for the city's retention incentive, adopt a 5-year capital improvement plan for the city, and set effective date and for other lawful purposes. The budget is outlined in your materials. Of course, you have all the details of that, and we've been over it. But just for the public's benefit, the total expense budget is $89,101,101, and our anticipated revenues and use of fund balance and profits throughout the year match that amount.
Okay, so we had a public hearing at our last city council meeting, which was at noon, and we now have a second public hearing on this so that we have full opportunity for the public to comment on our budget. So this time we're going to close our city council meeting and open the floor to receive any comments from citizens regarding our FY 2027 budget. If anyone would like to speak as to the budget, now is your opportunity. All right, so we will now close the public hearing and turn this matter back over to council for action. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Griggs, a second from Councilman Brown. This is an ordinance, and so this will require a roll call vote. So I'd ask for our city clerk, Ms. Rozier, to call the roll.
Councilman Bill Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Benny Jones,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tess Godfrey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sarah Colby,
Yes.
Councilman Paul Griggs,
Yes.
Councilman Brandon Chain.
Yes.
All right, the ordinance passes without any opposition, so we now have our FY 2027 budget in place, ready to begin on July 1st. We'll now move to item number 7 on the agenda, which is a resolution with a company for water quality monitoring Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2632, a resolution by the Mayor and Council of the City of Dublin, Georgia, to approve and accept the terms of a proposal and contract for FY27 and FY28 for watershed protection plan monitoring and annual reporting with Nutter and Associates Incorporated, environmental consultants, to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the same, to set an effective date, and for other lawful purposes. We adopted a watershed protection plan, which is a water quality plan with the EPD, and so it provides that we will test different streams in the river in our community to make sure that there are not pollutants that get into it, whether that be through sewer leaks or industrial or other entities that may cause things to get added to the water. And so this firm has, for the past several years, provided this service for us, and they've done a good job. They go out and do the sampling, they do the testing, they do the analysis, they provide the report that's required by EPD, and so the staff recommends that we do, the council does approve this. This will be for the next 2 fiscal years. The total over those 2 fiscal years is $86,780.
I actually did not ask this in pre-council, but I do have a couple of questions. The first is this information publicly available, the actual testing results?
It is.
How would a member of the public be able to find out those results?
We have it here available. They can make a request for that. We can also look to put it on our website, and I think, I'm not sure if we do put it on our website currently, but we certainly can.
Okay. I just know that in years past, I used to enjoy going fishing on the Oconee River, and it would be nice to, take a look at the reports to make sure that there's no pollutants going into the river. So I understand that these the reports are sent to the EPD, and that we haven't received any notice of problems from the EPD from our past years of reporting.
No.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for staff regarding this? All right. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Jones, a second from Councilman Colby. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. All right, let's move on to item number 8 on the agenda, which is an agreement with Georgia Power and Moy Electric for improvements to Lawrence Street. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2633, a resolution of the City of Dublin, Georgia, by and through its mayor and council to approve agreements with Georgia Power Company for the relocation and conversion of utility pole, a utility pole along Lawrence Street, and the installation of 2 decorative lampposts, to approve the purchase of services with Moy Electric related to utility adjustments, to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the same, set an effective date, and for other lawful purposes. A little while back, staff, in looking at Lawrence Street, and this is in between Jackson and Madison, noticed that there was no green lamppost light like we have all on the rest of the streets downtown. And we actually had a request from one of the, Miller Soul Food, to install one along Lawrence Street. And when we got to looking at it, the council requested us to look at the possibility of eliminating the only remaining wooden power pole on that road. And so we've gone through all that process with Georgia Power and back and forth, and have for council, the total cost to do all this is $59,852.59. That does involve removing the existing power pole and then relocating all the utilities that are connected to that pole, Moy Electric going in and making some adjustments to the services from those poles, and then the installation of the 2 decorative lampposts, which is another beautification effort, as well as it eliminates some unsightly power lines along Lawrence Street.
Mr. Jefferson, do you mind showing the, I don't know if you can pull it up on Google Maps, the existing street view so that people can see what we're talking about for improving Lawrence Street? If you go down Jackson Street and Madison Street, what you don't notice anymore is the overhead power lines. It really has a big impact on beautification. And so whenever we're looking at Lawrence Street, we realized that we had one very unsightly.
No, this is going to have multiple poles, but one of those has been removed since this was taken.
So, it's the one that's directly in front of, it's the other one actually.
It's the other one in front of Miller's.
Yep, right there. Yeah, that old power pole was left. And so what we decided was that if we can remove that power pole, that will remove all of the overhead power lines for that that block that connects Jackson and Madison Street, and then we can put in the decorative light poles, and that'll be a big boost to the way that area looks, and have additional lighting there as well. So that was the purpose behind this. Any council comments?
I have a question. When they start doing the work, will that street have to be closed or Miller's have to be closed?
No, it shouldn't have to. I don't know the answer to that, but
Look at that.
Engineering Director Bradshaw is telling me no, so.
Okay, good deal. Thank
All
you.
right. Any other questions? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Jones, a second from Councilman Godfrey. Any discussion on the motion? All those
Sarah
in
put yay.
all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
The watershed plan, Ms. Cook has confirmed, is already on our website.
Okay, great. So just going back to that prior one, the watershed reporting information is available on the City of Dublin's website. So if anybody's interested in checking to see about the reports from the checking the water that goes into the Oconee River, you can do that on the City of Dublin's website.
So does that mean you're gonna go back fishing again?
Yeah, I guess so. So we'll now move to item number 9 on the agenda, which is a resolution to approve an audit contract with Nichols Colley and Associates. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2634. This is a resolution by the Mayor and Council of the City of Dublin authorizing the execution of an engagement letter with Nichols Colley and Associates LLC for professional auditing services for the FY26 audit to set an effective date and for other lawful purposes. We are finishing up FY26. It will end on June 30th, and so that will start. In fact, we're already started getting ready for the audit. We are, of course, being a local government, required to have an independent audit conducted by an independent firm, and so this resolution will authorize us to engage Nichols Colley and Associates, which has performed this service for us for a number of years now. They have done an excellent job, and understand all our accounting and how our funds are set up, and how the city's accounting works. And they are familiar with the staff as well, and staff recommends utilizing their services once again. The estimated cost is $66,750. This is slightly above what we budgeted, but there's still. But we'll be able to cover that cost we anticipate with some savings that we've already realized we will have in FY27. And so we are recommending their approval.
All right, so I know that it's been of public interest, especially whenever you see like what's happening. I think we just saw in the Savannah-Chatham School District, they're showing a $6 million shortfall. There's shortfalls in throughout different governmental units throughout the state. And so it's extremely important to us at the City of Dublin to make sure that we have these audits and that the audits are done timely and that the audits are clean. And Mr. Daniels, maybe you can speak to the performance of the City of Dublin in audits. I think that we've won some awards over the past years.
Yes, we've received historically, at least since I've been here, I won't speak before that, but to my knowledge, we've received unmodified opinions, which is a clean opinion of the audit, and then we've also received an excellence in financial reporting from the GFOA, the Governmental Finance Officers Association.
All right. So, I think that's important for the public to know that we continue as the City of Dublin to have great oversight over your tax dollars and tremendous transparency about how that money is spent. We've had multiple hearings about this upcoming budget. It's, right now it's June of 2026. Our fiscal year hasn't even ended, and we're going to go ahead and start getting ready for the audit of this fiscal year so that we'll be able to give timely reports to the citizens about how their money is being spent or how our money is being spent, because it's our money too. So, do we have any questions for staff regarding this? If not, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Brown, a second from Councilman Godfrey. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. All right, we'll now move on to item number 10, which is an amendment of the fee schedule for water and sewer rates. Mr. Powell.
This is a resolution, number 2635, a resolution of the City of Dublin, Georgia, by and through its mayor and council, updating the schedule of fees for the City of Dublin related to water rates and sewer rates and to set an effective date. After our budgeting workshop and looking at the expenses and liabilities that we have associated with our both our wastewater treatment plant and our water plants and the water infrastructure and those costs, as you all can imagine, like you've seen at the grocery store and at the pump and other places and things that you buy, our cost of materials for pipe and fittings and pumps and electric service, as you've seen on this agenda already, have gone up exponentially over the last couple of years, especially in the wake of the COVID pandemic. We have been very conservative and consistent on our water rate increases in the years past. And this year, staff was recommending a $1 increase in the base rate for both water and sewer, and a $1 increase in the consumption after that, which your base rate includes your first 2,000 gallons of water. And then so any consumption over that, for every 1,000 gallons, there will be a $1 increase in what you're currently being charged on both the water and the sewer side of this. And so a typical minimum bill is going to go up only by $2 total if you have a minimum bill with the city. And just a typical household may use somewhere in the range of about 9,000 gallons of water, and that's kind of on the even on the high end for some. And those bills would go up by about $16 a month. So that's the increase that would be the impact to the customers. But again, as you can see from even just our agenda tonight, the cost of the electrical, the motors for the trucks we use, and the pumps and things that we use, it's very expensive to run the water plant. And so this is a nice balance of keeping things low for our customers, as well as balancing the needs that we have going forward. I will say, in comparison to other cities and other counties that have either water utilities or water and sewer utilities, our rates are still there in the kind of medium range, where we're not on the highest end, and we're not also on the lowest end there.
All right. Do we have any questions for staff regarding this item?
So just to clarify for the public's input, so the base rate includes 2,000 gallons, and then the consumption charges for each 1,000 gallons on top of that. So you're looking at $6.15 per 1,000 gallons. I don't know if any of y'all have gone to the store and tried to buy a gallon of water to drink.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than 0.006 cents. So I'm grateful for the services that the city provides, and we definitely have increased expenditures.
Well, and one of the things that we looked at when we were trying to analyze how we could do this is, if you look at, for example, a retired couple, they're going to probably use about 2,000 gallons of water, so they'll see an increase of $2 a month. Now, larger families where there's a lot more water usage, it's going to go up a little bit more than that. But for maybe the people who are on fixed incomes, or just a couple living together, it's going to be almost a negligible increase. And I also think it's important that we not hit the public with big increases all in one year. Just going up $1 here, $1 there. It allows us to keep pace with inflation without giving a shock to any family's budget. So, do we have any questions or comments? All right, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Colby, a second from Councilman Chain. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. We'll move to item number 11 on the agenda now, which is a resolution to approve a landscaping contract for Northview Cemetery. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2636, a resolution by the Mayor and Council of the City of Dublin to approve the award of a contract for the landscaping and grounds maintenance of Northview Cemetery to Dixie Lawn and Landscaping Incorporated, to authorize the mayor to execute and deliver an agreement for said services, to provide for an effective date and for other lawful purposes. We put out for bid and received several proposals for landscape services for Northview Cemetery, and so Dixie Lawn and Landscaping was by far the highest rated and the lowest cost for this service, coming in at $32,000 per year. Previously, we had been paying upwards of $100,000 a year for this service, so this was a nice relief from years past. And we will actually be talking with them about updating their proposal to possibly include our two other cemeteries, which we currently maintain ourselves, and that would then free up some city staff to go and cut the right of way, be more proactive on cutting right of ways in some of the properties that we own. So we'll be looking into that. The resolution in your materials does give that flexibility for us before we finalize the agreement with them, and staff would ask that you approve this resolution.
All right, any questions for staff regarding this? I think it's great that we had 11 different companies submit bids on this, and I think that's very helpful in getting lower bid prices. Any other questions or comments? If not, do we have a motion?
Make a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion for approval from Councilman Griggs with a second from Councilman Godfrey. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. All right, we're working our way through. We have got just a couple more items left. So item number 12 on the agenda is a contract for work detail services at Riverview Golf Course. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2637, a resolution of the City of Dublin, Georgia, by and through its mayor and council, approving a contract with the Georgia Department of Corrections for the services of a work detail for the City of Dublin, to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the same, set an effective date, and for other lawful purposes. We've utilized a work detail down at Riverview Golf Course for several years. They provide a crew of up to 10 individuals along with their guard to go down and work at the course as we need them to. The annual cost is $28,481.15, and for that many people and that much labor, that is a good deal for us. And so we recommend council continue that, and that is within our budget that we have for Riverview.
All right, and the good news is that's over $20,000 less than what we had budgeted for that service. So hopefully we can find some good use for those savings. Do we have any questions for staff regarding this?
Can we use some of that money to put some lighting through the golf course?
We absolutely can.
Thank you. It's very dark at night.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion from Councilman Griggs, a second from Councilman Browning. Discussion on the motion. All right, with no discussion on the motion, all those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. All right, this is probably the largest item on our agenda, which is a resolution to authorize funds for infrastructure costs associated with the Housing Authority RAD conversion project. Do we have a resolution number on this?
2638.
Okay. So I think I'll just briefly summarize this item. The Housing Authority has been working for quite some time now to replace 150 units in the Vincent Village area with new construction. This is a major project. Those are very old units that are not in great shape. And through the use of what's called a RAD program, which is a rental assistance demonstration project, the developers were able to get low-income tax credits and then work as partners with our housing authority to replace these old units with new units. Now, when this project started, there were presentations to City Council about it. Some of you may have been there. And Council said, let's use this opportunity to try to increase safety in that area. So for over a year, we've been working with Sepia Partners and the Housing Authority, who are the developers of the project, to see what we could do to increase the safety of the neighborhood. Our Chief of Police, Chief Moon, was involved in the project, and one of the issues now in the Vincent Village area is there are a lot of entrances and exits. There's lots of ways in and out of that area, and that makes it hard sometimes for the police to establish security within that zone, because there's lots of ways for cars to move around in there. So one of the things that we looked at was how can we close off some of the streets and allow more controlled entry and kind of knowing who's coming in and out of the neighborhood. Are you able to pull up the design, the modified design? So in working, do you have that?
I don't know if he's got it, Mayor,
Okay.
but I'll see if I can.
Okay.
get it.
So whenever we presented this this information to the planners, to the developers. They took it back to their architects, to their engineers, and they came up with a plan that really looks great. It's beautiful. It's a great modernization of the whole area. It's going to improve the looks of it, and it's going to be much safer. The problem was that it's going to cost several $1 million to do that. And so what we're looking at tonight is the City of Dublin partnering with the Housing Authority and the developers to pay for a portion of the infrastructure cost so that this project can be developed in this way with these enhanced safety features. We believe that there are going to be grant opportunities to fund this $2 million investment that we're asking council to make tonight. Those grant opportunities may come from GFA, which is basically an infrastructure funding body from the state of Georgia. It may come from other sources as well. We may be able to find some of the funds through transportation funds or other places. Today, as we sit here tonight, we haven't identified exactly where that funding will come from, but they are at the point of this project where they need to know whether we're going to commit to this or not. Right. So the resolution that we have this evening is to commit the City of Dublin to work to find the grant money or other funds to support the redesign of the Vincent Village area. You can see on your screen what the redesign looks like. As you can see, multiple streets would be closed and turned into zones where the cars would kind of go around almost like in a cul-de-sac type neighborhood. I think that council has had a lot of opportunity to review this over multiple occasions, and so tonight's resolution is for the city to commit to supporting this project in partnership with the Housing Authority and the developers.
Make a motion to approve.
All right, so we have a motion from Councilman Jones to approve. We have a second from Councilman Godfrey. Any discussion on the motion? All right, if not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you guys for coming this evening to provide more information about the project. All right, that concludes our agenda items. We do have an executive session for legal matters that will take place directly after this meeting. But before we adjourn for our executive session, we will give an opportunity for our council comments. But we'll also, as always, start with our department heads.
What about citizens?
Oh, we also have citizens' comments. Thank you. Thank you for catching that. Do we have any citizens who would like to make comments this evening? Now is an opportunity for citizens' comments. All right. So if there's no citizens' comments, Mr. Daniels, any comments this evening? Thank you. Ms. Rozier, our clerk?
No comment, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Councilman Brown, we'll start with you this evening.
I'll be short and sweet. Just thank everybody for being here, and want to congratulate all the city employees that were recognized for their years of service. We greatly appreciate your commitment to the city. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for those comments. Councilman Jones.
Thank you, man. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. And congratulate everyone for their years of service. 40 years that's a long time, but and I also like to announce that we have a pre-Juneteenth thing comedy show coming up this Saturday. We have K-Dub, 69 Boys, Barbara Carlisle, and Disco Duck will be here at the Theater of Dublin. You can put your tickets online at Eventbrite. $20, good price to come see that. It'll be a Tootsie Roll contest, so come on out, let's have a good time. And also, I like to thank the Black History Banner Committee for their hard work. And we are pleased to announce our 2027 Black History Banner honorees. And they are as follows: Miss Julie Jurger, Mr. Gary Johnson, Miss Mary Thomas, and Mr. Tim Chapman. That will be our 4 honorees. We will doing an announcement today. We will be doing planning something for the honorees, contacting their family. We plan something for them at our October the 1st meeting. We'll plan a little gathering for them then, so everyone come, they get recognized. So, but we want to make the announcement of who it was, so we can do that. And also at the end, I'd like to say, it was brought up at pre-council, and I, sitting here listening, I wish my daughter did go to a HBCU. I wish we do have 3 HBCU alumni here in the city of Dublin. Yes, let's get along. Let's get on board, and y'all contact y'all university. Let's get some internships from your people here in the city of Dublin. Also, that'd be something that the university have to reach out to the businesses, and let's start that. That would be great. I would love to see that. So let's make that happen. I mean, we can't sit back and just say, "Oh, y'all go do it." You got alumni associations. That's great. They're nationally recognized. Y'all reach out to university, tell them you want internships right here in the city of Dublin for your for people that stay here in the city of Dublin. Like I said, my daughter went to a HBCU at Fort Valley State, and she had to do her internship up there at Fort Valley somewhere. So that would have been great for her to come home and do that. So let's make that happen. I put that on the 3 organizations that we have: the Savannah State, Albany State, and Fort Valley State. Y'all make that happen. Y'all got alumni association. Let's make that happen in the city of Dublin. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Councilman Jones. Councilman Godfrey.
Thank you, Mayor. No comments.
All right, Councilman Colby.
I think my biggest win tonight was the underground utilities, getting another Georgia power pole out of the way. I had a citizen come to me several years ago and said, wouldn't it be beautiful if we could have every power pole, every power underground down Bellevue? And that is a dream, but we can see one pole at a time be removed. That's really exciting. I want to thank Valerie Dixon for all of her hard work. She lives in Milledgeville, but she has become a Dublinite, and we're so proud and thankful for her hard work here. And thank you, Blake Daniels, for all your work for the budget and making all of those figures so readable for people who don't have as much experience with documents this big. Congratulations to our employees, our dedicated employees that have given so much of their time to making the city a better place. And congratulations to Brenda Smith and the entire Dublin Housing Authority for their hard work on the RAD conversion. We look forward to seeing a safer, more beautiful Dublin in the future.
All right, thank you for that. And now, Councilman Griggs.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to thank everybody for coming and echo what everybody else has had to say. Thank you. Have a good week.
All right, thank you, Councilman Griggs. Councilman Chang.
With our summer ramping up, please keep watch on your kids. With the consistent violence going on, it's best to know where they are. It's to keep them from being involved or a victim.
Agree 100%. Thank you for that, Councilman Chang. Councilman, City Manager, Mr. Powell.
Not Councilman. I just wanted to remind everybody of the closure and the work we're doing over on Claxton Dairy at the intersection with Woodlawn. That they are working on the roundabout project there. So steer clear of it as much as you can, and I recommend you stay over on the Hillcrest and 441 areas to get where you need to go. I will say too that we are going to be doing some additional street closures over adjacent to the Housing Authority property over there that we've just identified on the screen there. This is one for some other construction that's going to be happening on Mary Street, but also to deal with some safety issues that we've got, and we're going to kind of do a pilot test to see how the closures will affect the area in the coming weeks. So just be on the lookout for that, and that's all I have.
All right, thank you. One of the big issues that our community has faced over the last few weeks has been an uptick in some criminal activity, especially gunshots in neighborhoods. And I know that we've spoken about this before. I want to thank council members for the time that you have put into to engaging with this issue. There were multiple meetings this week with council members and myself and the chief of police and our staff regarding what the city can do to support our police response. So I do want to say that public safety is the #1 priority of this council in this city. Our 2027 budget has allocated $10 million for our police department and equipment and personnel. It's the largest single item in our general fund. It is our #1 priority. Public safety is the foundation of everything that we do, from economic growth to parks to community development. You have to have safety, and we understand that. We have, through the city manager, approved overtime for police officers. So there are additional patrols, persistent patrols that are going on in the neighborhoods that have been impacted by the recent gun crimes. We appreciate the support of the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department as they have tasked additional manpower into the city of Dublin in response to some of the incidents, and also the U.S. Marshals Service. They've been a key factor in getting some of the criminals that were responsible for these incidents off the street. So as of today, we have 3 suspects that are in custody in jail, and we are looking for some additional ones. We will not stop until they are off the streets and are no longer a danger to our community. It is so unfortunate that just a few irresponsible people can cause the kind of problems that they are causing, and they have, in my opinion, forfeited their right to be part of society when you start shooting bullets into a neighborhood. And they need to be off the streets and in prison, and we're going to give our police department every possible resource to make that happen. So with that, we'll close the meeting, and thank you for coming. We'll now adjourn to executive session.
Need a motion.
Oh, we need a motion. Motion. We have a motion for executive session from Councilman Brown, a second from Councilman Griggs. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, ayes have it.